Let's go to trial, it ain't no way we finna lose it. Let's go to trial, we had a deal looking stupid. Let's go to trial, they built a case for no reason. Let's go to trial, ain't finna tell them that we leaving. Mad at the who? Mad at the cops. Bitch, you stoop. They ain't the ops, you be mad at the gat. If you get shot, hating police, just not the wave. Crooked police could get you paid. Racist cops could be your slaves. And free your niggas up out that cage. If you learn the teachings of 4K.
What's up, black people? Welcome to another unlawful arrest prevention video. On this channel, we aim to educate citizens on the tactics and tricks that cops most often use to execute the unlawful arrest of a black person. By understanding their strategies, we can develop our own, which allows us to punish them financially later on by bringing civil rights lawsuits and winning large payouts.
If you find yourself the victim of police misconduct, it is important that you bring a lawsuit no matter what, and do not hesitate. The most important decision you make will be the lawyer that you hire. To prevent black people from getting ripped off by sham lawyers, we have compiled a list of the best civil rights attorneys in every state. If you need help finding a civil rights attorney, simply go to unlawfularrestprevention.org. Scroll down to our National Civil Rights Attorney database and click on your state. We keep this list updated in real time as we vet more attorneys.
Now, today's video is about the unlawful arrest of 3 young black teenagers, which occurred in a town called Menomonee Falls, Wisconsin on July 19, 2023.
At UAP, we repeatedly stress the importance of memorizing certain statements. The 2 most important prepared statements you need to memorize are:
1. Am I detained or am I free to go? If I am detained, I will not answer any more questions without a lawyer present. The key part to remember being I will not answer any more questions without my lawyer present. The second prepared statement is I do not consent to a search of my person or my vehicle. Again, I do not consent to a search of my person or my vehicle. Remembering these 2 statements is the single most powerful thing you can do to ensure that if you are unlawfully arrested, you can swiftly get criminal charges dropped and bring a successful civil rights lawsuit that can get you paid.
However, it isn't enough. You also have to discipline yourself not to say anything else other than those 2 statements. If you are not refusing to speak without a lawyer or stating that you do not consent to any searches, then you need to remain silent and resist the urge to respond to or engage with the police at all.
This video is a perfect example of why. A young black college student from Arkansas is visiting his family in Wisconsin for the summer. He is driving his older sister's car so that he can earn some extra money doing DoorDash. His 2 friends are riding in the car with him as he is making a delivery to an apartment complex.
As he is making the delivery, he is pulled over by a cop for allegedly speeding. The cop says that the young man was driving 49 miles per hour in a 30 mile per hour speed limit zone. However, as you will see, the street has like 4 lanes of traffic. In almost every state I have resided or spent time in, streets like that don't normally have a speed limit under 45 miles per hour. Anyways, about 100 yards from where the cop first flashed his lights, the driver pulls into a parking lot of the same apartment complex where he is supposed to make the delivery and stops the car.
The white officer approaches the car and immediately accuses the young black teen of fleeing or quote-unquote dipping off. The driver explains that he is simply making a DoorDash delivery at this address and thought it would be smarter to pull into the parking lot than stop in the middle of the road and block traffic.
From here, things escalate extremely quickly.
The cop claims to smell weed. Then he orders each of the 3 men to get out of the car and calls for backup. Several other police officers arrive on the scene. Each of the 3 young men is placed in handcuffs while the police conduct an illegal search of their vehicle.
When the cops find a very small amount of weed, one of the passengers is arrested for possession of marijuana. The driver and the other passenger are arrested for obstructing an investigation, simply because they refused the officer's unlawful order that they leave their phones in the car. Likely this was made to prevent the teens from recording them.
In the end, all 3 innocent teenagers are taken to jail and charged with crimes. As I will show throughout the video, the young men made several mistakes that not only hurt their chances of getting the false charges dropped, but ruin their chances of being able to bring a successful civil rights lawsuit and get paid. Most importantly, I will prove to you that had the young men remembered to say the 2 prepared statements we always repeat on this channel, this instance of police harassment could have had a totally different outcome.
So just so we're on the same page, these 2 prepared statements are: 1. I will not answer any questions without a lawyer present. And 2. I do not consent to a search of my person or my vehicle.
At UAP, our goal is not just to prevent unlawful arrests from happening. It is also to make sure that black people get paid, and paid a lot when unlawful arrests do happen.
Because the young men in this video simply did not know to make these statements and then shut up, they ruined their chances at getting paid for what was a clear violation of their civil and constitutional rights.
So before we get into the video,
to any black parents watching, this video shows how your children may respond to racist police unrehearsed and unprepared. This is how little they know, and these are the mistakes they will make. I will reiterate this point throughout the video, but it greatly behooves you to simulate a stop like this with your children, to role-play this scenario so that they are prepared for it in real life. You pretend to be the racist cop, trying to make unnecessary conversation or berate your children with questions. Your goal is to train your children how to remain on script or remain silent, regardless of all the different ways the cop tries to get them to deviate from their training. They will know when to say, I choose not to answer questions without an attorney present, and they will know when to say, I do not consent to a search of my vehicle, but they will also know when to be silent, and have the discipline to remain so no matter how hard a cop tries to get them to incriminate themselves for a crime they didn't commit.
if you do that, they will never end up in a situation like the black kids in this video. So without any more delay, let's get into it.
You're looking good. Hamilton South of Mount Williams, apartment. Adam Robert K. 945. ARK 945. You would start me a second. 10-4. Well, 213.
Hey, stay in your car. Stay in the car.
No.
You roll the windows down for me.
Motion 246.
What's going on? Why are you trying to dip out on me?
So like I said, the cop instantly tried to accuse the young black driver of fleeing. This lily white cop does what all lily white cops do. Right before they violate a black person they deem as young and vulnerable, he attempts to use black slang. He says, "Why did you dip off on me?" It is likely that the young driver wasn't actually speeding, or at least wasn't speeding that much, and so the officer doesn't actually have a legitimate reason to stop him.
The cop says in what he considers to be black speak, "Why did you dip off on me?" in an attempt to get the driver to accidentally admit to fleeing when he was not doing that. Then the cop won't have to go through the trouble of retroactively devising a bogus reason for initiating the traffic stop, or even having to try to prove that the driver was actually speeding.
DoorDash.
Okay. You're door dashing right here?
Yeah, I swear to God, like this is where we was going. I could yeah, we was here, left the food. That's all.
Can I see the address? You pulled a U-turn real fast and pulled in here. When a cop turns their lights on, you're supposed to pull over right away. All right? You shouldn't be pulling to the back of a parking lot when someone turns their lights on.
No, we understand that, but we was coming here anyway. So it was like, instead of holding up traffic and stopping, we just pull right here.
I'm gonna refer to the passenger in the back seat on the driver's side as Trey, because that's what his friends call him at one point. From here on out, Trey makes things worse for himself and his friends every time he opens his mouth.
Trey provides a reasonable explanation for why they didn't pull over immediately. This is where they're making the delivery, they didn't want to hold up traffic, etc. Only problem is, Trey is the passenger, and this is a traffic stop, so it does not concern him. This is between the officer and the driver. So Trey has just inserted himself into the conversation unnecessarily, and all Trey can do is accidentally say something that the cop might later claim sounded suspicious and use as an excuse to search the vehicle. Second, Trey's reasoning isn't even correct anyways. It would have been better for them to pull over on the busy street and block traffic. At least that way there would be more potential witnesses. There would be a higher chance that a fellow civilian might stop and film. That's what you want. Where the kids pulled over instead seems to be a more deserted area with no witnesses. The more deserted the area, the more emboldened the cops may feel to abuse you or plant evidence on you. If you can, Always slow down, but still pull over in the most well-lit and busiest area in your immediate vicinity. Even calling 911 to let them know that you are not fleeing but simply searching for a safe area to pull over will preempt any attempt from law enforcement to accuse you of fleeing.
The customer requested you hand them
Okay.
order. Additional
You should still stop right away. All right? And you're not getting out of the car right now to deliver that. Okay? You got an ID on you? You have a Wisconsin license or no?
No.
You live in Arkansas?
No, that's where I live. Well, yeah, no, but like I'm visiting here now.
You're visiting right now? Okay.
But he lived here before.
You don't have a Wisconsin ID?
This old.
Okay. I stopped because you're going 49 and a 30. Just so you know. Okay, you're going 19 over.
The cop is probably lying. One, the street does not look like any 30-mile-per-hour street I have ever seen in America. And second, even if the speed limit was 30 miles per hour, it is highly unlikely from the video that the kids were driving that fast. Likely, the officer was simply looking for a group of young, vulnerable black kids to pull over. Nonetheless, the cop says he pulled the kids over for a speeding ticket. When a cop tells you what BS traffic violation he pulled you over for, that is your cue to immediately start filming on your phone, say, "Please write me my ticket," and then remain silent. The reason is this. In 2015, the Supreme Court of the United States made an important ruling in a case called Rodriguez versus United States. The Supreme Court decided the following: that traffic stops must be temporary and last no longer than is necessary to effectuate the purpose of the stop. What that means is that if a cop pulls you over for a speeding ticket, he cannot hold you for longer than it takes to write the speeding ticket. So for example, if on average it takes 15 minutes to write a speeding ticket, but the cop holds you there for 30 minutes, the stop itself is considered unconstitutional and illegal.
So as soon as the cop said that the driver was speeding, his clock began ticking. In order for the traffic stop to be constitutional and legal, the cop has to write your speeding ticket and allow you to be on your way in a reasonable amount of time. The only way you can mess this up is if you talk unnecessarily or act in a manner the cop can spin as combative. So you just tell the officer, "Okay, please write me my ticket," and then be quiet. If he asks you any other questions after that, you can simply say,
"I will not discuss my day or answer any other questions without a lawyer present. Please write me my ticket."
If you say nothing else, the cop is required by law to write you the ticket and let you go.
As you'll see, before the cop writes the speeding ticket, he starts asking unnecessary personal questions in an attempt to stall and get the driver to give him a reason to extend the scope of the stop beyond a traffic violation. The driver, being friendly, answers the cop's questions, but that is a mistake. Remember, you are not required to have a conversation with the police, nor should you ever.
Just say, "Thank you, officer. Would you kindly write me the ticket so that I can be on my way?" And if he asks anything after that, "I don't feel comfortable answering questions without a lawyer present." Or silence. You can never go wrong responding with straight up silence when unsure of what to say.
Alright, is this your vehicle? Whose vehicle is this? Your big sister's? Okay. Is this your current address, Little Rock? Do you have an address up here? Nothing?
Give him the address.
How long are you staying up here?
I was supposed to leave because I go to college, so I was supposed to leave by the end of this month.
Okay, so you're just here for the summer or something?
Yeah.
Okay.
He's from here though.
Are you two from here?
Yes.
Okay. What's your phone number, man?
262.
You guys have IDs on you?
Yeah, I do. It's in my book bag.
Where is it?
My book bag.
Where's that?
Right here next to me.
You can grab it.
Oh.
You got ID, man?
Yeah, hey, she said, why you need an ID if it's a traffic stop?
I'm just asking.
He just asked. He was just asking.
So you don't need to see it? Alright, so you don't need to see it?
I'm asking for it.
You asking for it?
Yes.
But I don't have to show it?
As the passenger, you don't have to give it to me, but I'm asking you for it.
Oh, that's cool then.
Okay. You have anything here you shouldn't have?
That is right. Passengers do not need to show ID for a traffic stop. However, the correct way to tell an officer you will not show your ID is by saying this: "I will only show my ID under threat of arrest. Are you going to arrest me if I do not show my ID?" That is the correct way to say it, so remember it that way.
It is also the way that informs the police officer that you are not only aware of your rights, but the proper way to articulate them, and that you are therefore not someone they can attempt to violate or F over without any repercussions.
Okay, because it smells like marijuana. Yeah. You don't have any? Because it smells like it. You sure don't want to tell me right now?
We don't. It's an ashtray, but I don't think it's on the finger.
Okay. Let me see.
It's like nothing like using.
Okay.
Smokable.
3.
That's probably what it is.
This is your sister's car?
Yeah, this is it.
Okay. You know if anyone smoked in it recently?
No, that's what
Yeah, she said she did probably before we used it. That's probably why.
Is that sister on the phone?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm gonna refer to the driver as AJ, again because that's what his friend calls him at one point. I feel bad for AJ because he is young, and no one in his family has taught him what to do in this situation.
All adult black people have a responsibility to teach their younger family members how to interact with police strategically so that they don't end up like AJ. Anyways, AJ makes 2 very big mistakes right here. Mistake 1.
As soon as a cop tells you that he smells weed, that means he is going to attempt, one way or another, to search your car for the weed. As soon as a cop mentions weed, whether you have it in the car or not, there is only one strategic and correct response. You say to him, "I do not consent to a search of my vehicle or person." Then, if an officer asks you if you smoked weed in the car, regardless of if you did or did not, you say, "I will not answer questions without a lawyer present." Then you shut up and remain silent. Mistake 2. The driver has his older sister on the phone. That is another big mistake. When cops pull you over, phones are to be used for 2 purposes and 2 purposes only: to record the interaction in case the cop turns their body camera off, or to call your lawyer. If you are using your phone to do anything other than record the cop or call your lawyer, you are hurting yourself in the long run.
A perfect example of why using your phone for any other purpose will hurt you happened right here. The young man called his older sister. His older sister is not a lawyer or an expert on how to interact with the police. She doesn't know any better what to say than does her little brother. However, she thinks she is helping her brother by telling the officer that she smoked weed in the car earlier. She thinks that by saying this, she is taking the heat off of her little brother, but she's not. Instead, she did the opposite. She gave the cop an opportunity to detain her brother longer than necessary to write a speeding ticket. That is because the cop now has probable cause to try to search the car for weed, in the form of an admission from the car's owner that weed was smoked in the car that very day. So calling his sister only hurt the driver.
Tell her it smells like weed in here, and you guys are driving it.
She said so.
Okay. Alright, why don't you step out for me?
Me?
Yep. Why don't all 3 of you come out?
You finna search the car?
Leave the phone in there, sir.
Trey says, "You finna search the car?" Like I said, Trey is making it worse for everyone every time he opens his mouth.
Trey isn't even the driver, so he can't even say, "I do not consent to a search of my vehicle." It isn't his vehicle. Only AJ can refuse to consent to a search of the vehicle. Instead of minding his business as a passenger, Trey has asked the cop an obvious question that has now likely made the cop suspicious and even more eager to search the car. So to anyone in the driver, AJ's position, remember this. As soon as the officer asks you to step out of your car, you repeatedly state, "I do not consent to a search of my vehicle or person." Unless you say it exactly like that, it does not work, and you have to say it clearly and loud enough for all body cameras to hear you.
Step out, leave the phone. Keep your hand out of your pockets.
I'll put my phone in my pocket.
Hey, what's his name?
TJ, listen. He said leave the
TJ.
phone.
The black kids in this video shouldn't have been in this position in the first place, so it's never my intention to be too harsh on the victims, especially when they are young, vulnerable, uninformed black teenagers. However, you're about to see the third passenger, TJ. I don't know what TJ thought he was doing, but it was not strategic or helpful. All TJ did was get himself swiftly arrested for being foolish and then make it easier for the cops to arrest his friends and harder for all of them to get paid.
Why you got my phone?
Leave the phone in there.
Stop, bro.
Why can't he have his phone?
Leave the phone
Why
in there.
can't he have his phone?
Because I'm telling you, you can't right now.
Is
We're
that a law?
investigating something.
Is that a
okay?
law?
Put your phone in there right now. Put your phone in there. Put your phone in there, because I'm going to search the car for marijuana.
Okay, well,
we're investigating something. You're not allowed on the phone.
TJ, you making this?
Put it in there. I'm not going to ask you again.
It's a lawful order.
So it's a lawful order that we can't have our phone.
Put it in there.
That shit sound dumb.
Put it in there. Put your
TJ came out with 2 phones in his hand, but isn't recording on either one. In a situation like this, a phone is not a phone. It's an audio-video recording device or a lawyer calling tool. So TJ has 2 tools in his hand that he is wasting. Even worse, TJ and his friends, Trey and AJ, are all arguing over the fact that the cops told them to put the phones away. If no one is using the phones to record the police, then you might as well just put them away, because they're not useful for anything. Which is why it's even more unfortunate that when the cop straight up declares, "I'm about to search the car for marijuana," everyone is so caught up yelling about the phones that no one pays the cop's threat to search the car any mind. AJ was too worried about TJ's phones and the way he was acting and did not say, "I do not consent to a search of my vehicle." And just forgetting to make that statement will often get interpreted as actually giving consent in a court of law.
phone in there.
I don't care, my nigga. Get it off.
I'm not going to ask you again. I'm not going to ask you
I'm gonna
again.
ask you, I'll pay some. My nigga,
Turn around. Turn around.
no,
Turn around. Hey, stop.
Hey, get on the phone.
Stop resisting right now. Stop resisting. Stop resisting right now.
Calm down.
Stop resisting.
I'm
I'm going to tase you. I will tase you if you don't stop.
Why is you right? They click on me for no reason. Hey, get my phone. That's too quick. Grab my phone, bro. My nigga, I can't have a phone. What you talking about? Bitch ass nigga.
Pulse 211, 11080.
Like, sis, hey, can't we record? Ain't that our right to record, my nigga? Hey, ain't that our right to record?
Step in front of the car. Step in front of the car. Stay right here. Stay right here.
Okay, my nigga, I'm not moving.
Stop resisting. All right?
I'm resisting. I'm turning
You
around.
are. I'm telling you to face the car.
TJ is now standing, handcuffed in front of a police car surrounded by officers. However, they are still yelling at him to stop resisting, even though TJ is a kid and is way too small to really resist any of them. Cops will always say stop resisting, whether you are actually resisting or not. This is one of their tricks. Sometimes it is hard to see from the angle of the body camera the extent to which an individual is actually physically resisting them and not just verbally complaining.
Cops will shout the command, "Stop resisting," even when you are not resisting, just in case it is not immediately apparent from the body camera footage. The cops do this so that if all else fails, they can still charge you with resisting arrest.
Don't move and face the car. Don't move. Don't move. Face the car.
As the cop is putting on his gloves, TJ should say, "I do not consent to a search of my person," but other than that, he should remain silent.
Everything on you that's going to poke me?
No, man.
Face the car. Spread your feet. Spread your feet. You're under arrest for obstruction, just so you know. Okay.
Bro, what?
Obstruction.
Obstruction.
Back of the car.
You want to tweak on me for what? Okay, but they tweaking me because I...
Relax.
Already one of the passengers, TJ, has been arrested on the BS charge of obstruction. In this case, the investigation that TJ is being charged with obstructing is whether or not there is weed in the vehicle. This likely could have been avoided if AJ, the driver's conversation with the officer went like this, and everyone else stayed quiet.
Officer says, "You were speeding." AJ says, "I was not, officer. However, please write me my ticket so that I can be on my way." Cop then says something like, "Well, if you weren't speeding, then tell me why, blah, 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 blah." AJ says, "Officer, I choose not to answer any questions without an attorney present." Officer says, "But you're not even under arrest." AJ says, "Even so, I am choosing not to answer any questions without an attorney present." If the cop senses you are following a script, he will do everything he can to establish a dialogue that gets you off of the script. So you have to practice sticking to the script with robotic consistency. And if the cop starts asking questions that make it tempting to go off script, you immediately remain silent. Because if the goal is to bring a lawsuit and get paid, silence cannot hurt you. And more often than not, it will help you. To the black parents who are watching, pay close attention to how this arrest unfolds. This is how your kids will respond to racist cops unrehearsed and unprepared if you do not practice with them. This is how little they actually know, and these are the mistakes they will make. So if you understand the ways I am suggesting that you teach your children to respond to racist cops, it greatly behooves you to role play with them. You question your child as if you are the racist cop, and try to get your child to go off script or engage in unnecessary dialogue with you. Teach them how to be silent as you berate them with questions. That way your children will be able to apply these teachings fluidly, no matter how hard the racist cops try to get them to deviate from it.
Yes, I will talk to you. Just watch the guy in the car.
We don't gotta talk to nobody else. Come here. Why is he getting arrested?
Why is there so many people here? It's just three of us.
Come here.
What's going on?
We don't gotta talk to none of them. We talking to him. Who pulled us out?
I'm Tina.
Put this down for a minute.
Hold on. Talk to you. Look, we don't gotta put it down.
Wait,
We don't gotta
but
put it
can't
down.
you answer
We don't
like-
gotta put it down. Look.
Wait, just let him
Now,
talk.
why is he being arrested?
Do you want me to explain to you what's
Why is
going
he-
on? Put your phone down. I'm not talking to her. I'm talking to you.
I don't have to put my phone down. I'm
Put your
talking to
phone
you.
down.
I'm talking to you. I'm not talking on the
You
phone.
really want to do
You
that?
just sit it up.
I'm
You just want to
talking
do
to
the
you.
same thing.
Hold on. I don't.
wasting my
It's not a law that I have to put my phone down. You talking to me, so I talk to you. You're not arresting me. You're not doing shit.
Tina, I'm finna sit the phone up.
They're shorter than two.
Hold on.
Whoa.
We good.
Come with me.
Just
I will talk to him.
hold on,
Take
hold
him
on.
to the side and hang on to him over there.
Whoa,
Come with me.
where I'm going?
We good.
Come with me now.
Now Trey is escalating a situation he initially had nothing to do with and increasing the consequences he and his friends will face. Trey is still arguing about whether the cops can tell him to put his phone down, but it's not anything worth arguing about since he isn't using the phone to film them. Instead, Trey is on the phone with AJ's sister, and AJ's sister has already proved how helpful she is. She got her brother removed from the car by admitting to a police officer that marijuana had been smoked in the vehicle that very day.
So again, not a phone, a police audio-video recording device until you are free again. And Trey is wasting this valuable tool by using it to FaceTime someone who isn't there and is not a lawyer, rather than using it to film the police conducting an unlawful search and ensuring that they don't plant evidence.
I have no idea what's going on.
What is happening here?
I'm asking, like, why is there so many people when it's just three of us?
I don't
We just
know.
trying to deliver DoorDash.
I'm late. What's going on?
We just delivering DoorDash, and he was like, "Why we trying to? I'm trying to show y'all where we was." Right? He was like, "Why you trying to dip off of me?" I'm like, "This is where the order is at." And I showed him the phone, and he was like, "The reason why I'm pulling you over because you was doing 49 or 30 something." I wasn't even going that fast, to be honest. I didn't feel like I was going 49. I literally just. That's why I turned into here. Like, I just turned in and was trying to deliver the food, and then.
Do you have your driver's license with you?
No, I have
This
my.
officer's going to take your name from you then. I have.
You seen my ID already?
You got it already? He's got your ID already?
Yeah, he's seen everything.
Oh, okay. Got it.
That's what I'm saying. Like, just trying to deliver the food.
Another reason why there's so many of us is because some of us are training.
We should be good.
There's a lot of.
I'm like, there's still people pulling up. It's like 1, 2, 3. It's like 6 of y'all.
I just told him to leave.
We're just trying to get them their food. I don't even know what house it is anymore.
All right. Well, we'll get it figured out here.
The driver, AJ, is a young black college student who is home for the summer. You can tell that he is panicked and scared, albeit rightfully so. However, that is why it is important to commit to memory the phrases: 1. I will not answer any questions without a lawyer. 2. I do not consent to a search of my vehicle. If the driver made these statements right at the beginning and then said nothing else, the cops would not be able to have their way with him and his friends like they are now.
If you come back and just stand over here for me.
Good.
Come with me.
Just
talk to you.
Okay, talk
Who's
to
on
me.
the phone with you?
I don't have to tell you that.
Why are you being like this?
Because it's my right.
You're making this more
You think you better than me because you a police officer?
No.
You came over here and you arrested him for having his phone.
No,
You see how dumb that
that's
shit
not
sound? Why is it? Why is he in the back of your car?
You guys over.
Why is he in the back of your car? That's what I'm
asking. Do you want
asking.
me to explain or no?
Answer my
'Cause you're
question.
just talking over
Answer
me.
my question.
I'm trying to
Answer
talk
my
to you.
question.
I pulled you guys over.
Answer my question.
Behaving like Trey, behaving like this, will only destroy your chances of getting charges dropped and then winning money. There is no point in telling the cop, answer my question. Cops don't need to answer your questions any more than you need to answer theirs. In fact, the officer's goal from the beginning was probably to get one or all of the young men to argue with him. And this is the number one way cops are able to arrest you, even when they have violated your rights first. When you argue with cops, even if you are telling them they are wrong, they are allowed to claim that you acted in a threatening manner towards them. Cops are allowed to lie, and 9 times out of 10, juries and judges will take a cop's word over a young black kid's word if it comes down to a swearing match.
Really?
Yes.
Okay, I'm not talking to you about this.
Now he don't want to talk to. He don't want to say why the fuck.
Just stay here.
Exactly. Exactly. That shit. They think they dealing with somebody who's stupid.
Just stay over here.
Is it your car or somebody else's? Big sister's car? How long have you been in Wisconsin if you got the Arkansas? Is it Arkansas? Right?
Even a seemingly friendly, harmless question like how long you been in Wisconsin is a perfect example of a question you do not need to answer. It has nothing to do with your speeding ticket, and it has nothing to do with why you are being detained. So you simply remain silent or say, I will not answer any questions without a lawyer present.
What's up about you?
How long have you been in Wisconsin?
Summer?
What's that?
Summer?
Just for the summer?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's him. He's sitting there looking stupid. He don't know what the fuck to say. Him right there walking away. Exactly. Like, I don't get it. Like, you took the phone from him. He ain't taking the phone from me. He said he was instructing because he tried to take his phone out of his hand. That's cool, but I'm letting you know.
Again, Trey is not doing himself any favors. The cops are only letting him talk like this because they know they've already got him, and are just hoping he will give them a reason that they can stack more charges on him. First of all, Trey shouldn't be so concerned about the cops taking his friend's phone because he isn't even using his the right way. Trey should be standing, quietly, not saying anything, filming the police with his phone. Instead, he is on FaceTime and arguing with the police, which will be used as the justification to arrest him in just a second.
Hello? Okay. You, who put us over, what you doing?
He's talking to the boss. He'll be over in a minute.
He talking to the boss. He'll be over here in a second. Somebody else. Hey, just come grab the phone. Come grab the phone.
No, stay here. Stay here. Stay here.
They don't want me to move. Just throw it. That's what I'm telling you. Can you just throw the phone, man? Because I'm not finna fight with no police officer.
Excuse me.
Bro, can you just throw the phone? I'm not finna fight with no police officer. Just throw the phone.
Just stay here.
I don't got time for this shit, bro. Just throw it. I'm not. You just so happy. Just throw the phone.
She right here. You don't have
I don't
to
got
touch
time to play
it.
these
Pass it.
games.
You don't have to touch it.
Just gonna make y'all just trying to make it take longer than what it got to be. He's not talking about shit, honestly. We're not talking about shit. I'm trying to go. They like making this take longer than what it got to be. I'm just trying to deliver this order so we go. Oh, he was asking this. That's what I keep asking. Like, we not doing nothing but delivering food.
Stay here.
Come back and
I
stand
am.
in front
I'm
of
not.
the
Right here.
team.
Excuse me.
That's
Excuse
where
me.
I told
Excuse
you
me.
to
Excuse
stand.
me. Excuse me. Excuse me. See how they all in my face? Like I just did something to them. They all just staring me dead in my face. Yeah, screen record.
That's your sister. He can talk. She has to be.
We just standing here. Excuse me. I'm saying, excuse me.
He'll get you.
TJ, stop.
Whoever AJ's older sister is, she needs to educate herself. Cursing out the cops over FaceTime is not helping your little brother. So to all the older siblings out there, if this happens to your little brother, this is what you tell them when they call you.
Record everything as soon as I get off the phone. Say you don't consent to a search and don't want to talk without a lawyer. Then be quiet. Don't say a word. I'm going to hang up and call a lawyer now.
Then, when you hang up on your little brother, you immediately call a civil rights attorney and ask them what to do. Even if that means you go to our National Civil Rights Attorney database and pick one from there. Likely, the civil rights attorney will have to refer you to a criminal attorney first. However, it is always better to find a lawyer through a referral from another lawyer than it is to go out and find them on your own.
He's gonna talk to the boss for right now.
He talking to the boss apparently.
You guys wait with them in the grass. Just bring them over to the grass. Bring them in there. You get names on you?
Just have him hang over here, that's fine.
What's your last name?
Wow.
Because you were inside the vehicle and this is an investigation.
Why is it an investigation? It's just a traffic stop.
Yep, and now it's turned into an investigation.
Take me in and get my name.
You got him?
Take me in and get my name.
Trey clearly watches too much TV and is copying something he saw in a show or a movie. When the cops ask Trey for his name, he tells them a few times, "Take me in," as in, take me to the police station to get my name. To take you to the police station, the cops basically have to arrest you. And if you are telling them to arrest you and quote-unquote take you in to the station, then you won't be able to turn around and sue them for wrongfully arresting or detaining you later on. If you tried, the cop's lawyer would play the video of you repeatedly telling them, "Take me in," basically asking the cops to arrest you rather than simply tell them your name. Every time Trey opens his mouth, he is not only hurting himself, he is hurting his friends and jeopardizing their freedom.
You want to give us your name? You want to like prolong this even longer than it has to be?
You asked me questions, I already told you what
right
I
there, like
doing.
turning into
Okay. So you were still inside the car.
Okay.
And now this is an investigation, and we identify
They just start
everybody.
flashing us.
That's just
Then
the
like
way
they
it
followed
works.
us to the order.
That's just the way we do our job.
You don't need my name.
That's what I'm saying.
Need it.
We do need it.
For what?
Our investigation.
It's not an investigation, it's a traffic stop.
No, it's an investigation.
It's a traffic stop. Yes, it is.
You can think that.
I know
You're wrong.
If you listen closely, the female cop just said what I warned about earlier. Trey says this isn't an investigation, it's a traffic stop. And then the female cop replies, it was a traffic stop, and now it's an investigation. The officer who initiated the traffic stop will lie and argue that when he approached the car for the traffic stop, he smelled weed coming from the car. Then the cop will argue that the driver and the passengers became uncooperative and hostile during the traffic stop. Then he will argue that AJ's sister, the car owner, admitted that weed had just been smoked in the car. Then the cop will argue that Trey and TJ acted suspiciously, as if they were hiding something. They will also argue that Trey and TJ acted in a hostile manner toward the cops. The cops will argue that all of these factors together gave them probable cause to investigate a crime and search the car for drugs.
But if everyone in the car had just remained silent and refused to answer any questions, and had AJ said, "I do not consent to a search of the vehicle," the cops would not have been able to use their behavior as an excuse to search the car and then arrest and charge the young black men with bogus crimes.
You got enough to just try to do these guys and get with us and get out of here?
That you'd have to speak to him. He's working on it right there. I think one of them, but not both of them at this point.
Okay.
So let me see what he says.
You want to talk to him? We got enough to just 1080 these guys and get the heck out of here? Or is it all in that bag? There's no weed, it's just scales and bags. The scales got shake on or anything? Doesn't look like it.
Does he have a name?
No, he's refusing to identify himself, but he was shouting at you saying you need to search my bag.
Hey, is that guy the driver?
Cargill.
That's in custody?
No. He was a passenger.
He's failing to identify.
Yeah, I know. So, I don't know, I don't see any kind of
Where's the
shake or
scales?
anything. You want to just look at it right there? Sounds good.
So at this point, the cops haven't found weed yet. However, the cops found some scales and blunt wrappers in Trey's backpack. In a second, they also find some weed. But I want to pause here to make 2 points, which are really the main purpose of this video.
First, at UAP, this is one of the reasons why we tell our viewers to remember the phrase, "I do not consent to a search of my vehicle, person, or property." The reason goes like this. If a cop pulls you over for a BS traffic stop while fishing for an arrest and then searches your vehicle for weed during that traffic stop, most competent attorneys will be able to successfully argue that any weed found is inadmissible in court because it was illegally obtained evidence. But that is only the case if you repeatedly express that you do not consent to a search of your vehicle.
Second, and this is even more important, the driver, AJ, is a college student who is visiting his family over the summer and DoorDashing part-time. One of his passengers / friends, Trey, had a backpack with blunt wraps, a scale, and weed in it. I am not sure why you need a scale if you aren't also selling the weed. Weed is still very illegal in Wisconsin, so there aren't dispensaries or anything. And I say that to say this. If you have a friend like Trey who is selling weed, he might not tell you if he has any weed on him, but he might also be texting people who buy weed from him while he is in your car. If the cops have a Stingray or Hailstorm machine, and virtually every police department in America does, so you should assume that they do, then the cops can easily gain access to the contents of any phone belonging to anyone in a large radius. So the cops may not have even been monitoring Trey specifically, but if he was selling weed and they were using a Stingray in the area, they would have been able to easily identify the location of any cell phone user texting about selling weed. A Stingray or Hailstorm allows police to electronically monitor a large area and gain access to the real-time communications of any phone in it. Stingrays and Hailstorms can even control a phone remotely, and they can do all of this while avoiding detection. Therefore, if Trey texted anyone he sells weed to, letting them know that he was in a car, the police could send an officer to pull the car over already knowing there was weed in it. Trey could have been texting people about his location, or texting people letting them know he had weed for sale. If any of these communications were picked up via Stingray or Hailstorm devices, then it could very well be why the cops pulled over the innocent driver in the first place. The cops will never admit to using a Stingray because they have been ruled illegal and unconstitutional.
So they will do exactly what they did here, get a cop to pull a car over for a BS traffic violation, already knowing there is weed in the car. Then they will come up with a reason to search the car and act as if they found it as a result of a routine traffic stop.
The only way that we as black people can protect ourselves, our friends, and our family members from the widespread use of Stingray and Hailstorm machines on our communities is by placing our phones in Faraday bags anytime we are driving or not using them. UAP manufactures and sells a Faraday bag called the 4-Cage, which aims to be one of the cheapest, most effective options on the market.
When your phone is inside a 4-cage or any Faraday bag, it's like your phone doesn't exist. In other words, the cops cannot track your location or gain undetected access to your phone while it is inside the Faraday bag. And when you take your phone back out of the bag, any prior connection with a Stingray or Hailstorm machine will have been severed. However, it is not enough for Trey, the weed-selling friend, to be the only one to put his phone in a Faraday bag. All of them have to do it. Because even if Trey had his phone in a Faraday bag, the police could still get access to the other two friends' phones, and any text Trey may have sent them in the past.
Black people are the most surveilled group in America, so we have to all get in the habit of putting our phones in 4-cages or Faraday bags. If cops can no longer use unconstitutional electronic surveillance on our communities, they will eventually be forced to start filling up their jails with white people.
Where's the scale? I don't see the scale. Well, maybe it's still in the backpack. Might be in that top pouch. It's in that somewhere.
Hello? You know it's mom's. You know it's mom's. You know it's mom's. It's my bag. You know it's mom's.
This wasn't in the bag.
It's cool though. It's mom's.
Okay, so don't ever do what Trey just did right here. The cops end up finding weed, and Trey instantly claims it, saying, that's mine, you know that's mine, that's mine. Maybe he was trying to do the honorable thing and claim the weed that he knew was his so that his friends didn't get in trouble for it. But you don't have to do that. You shouldn't do that. The intent was good, but it doesn't work like that in real life. It's not like the Notorious B.I.G. movie, where Biggie's homie has to claim the gun so that Big can pursue his rap career. In real life, no one needs to claim anything, and more importantly, no one needs to talk.
You're claiming that?
No, I'm saying it's mom's.
Huh?
Exactly. That's how dumb you sound. What is dumb ass? He looking at me dumb as hell.
Is this yours?
Yes, how many times I gotta tell you, bro?
Okay.
That's fine. It's the damn police officer. Fucking Officer Jake.
Wait, you didn't.
Well,
That could have been hers. It could have been hers. No, wait, that could have been hers.
Bro.
No, once your homie has claimed the weed as his, you can't then try to help him by saying, no, officer, it could be my sister's. She owns the car. That is too little too late. Trey, his friend, already confessed to possession of marijuana and will be arrested and charged as such. You can't argue that it might not belong to your friend, as your friend simultaneously claims it does belong to him, over and over and over again.
I think that maybe from TV or movies, these young kids believe some sort of myth that if cops find something, someone has to claim it. But no, it is better for everyone if no one claims anything.
Trey.
Yeah.
Hold on. Come grab my stuff. Here, bro.
Don't grab stuff stays here.
Here. AJ! Bro, grab my phone! AJ, just shut the fuck up and grab my phone! Stay right there. You don't have to say shit.
Just pick the stuff up on the grass.
Bro, don't touch my phone. AJ. Bro. Hey, what the fuck is wrong with y'all? Hey, stop fucking touching him before I slap the shit out your boy head ass.
All right, let's keep everybody's stuff straight.
That's his. Them his keys. That's mom's. You grab my bag already?
Your bag in the back seat.
You gonna grab it?
Sure. You got the other side? Yeah.
Hey, what the fuck? Hey, get your knee off him. Get your knee off him.
Just relax.
Hey, I'm not talking to you. Hey, get your fucking knee off of him before I slap this shit out you. Hey. Bro, shut the fuck. Who was you yelling at, bitch ass nigga? Who was you yelling at?
Bro. False. 218 or 1080 with you. Yeah, that's fine.
Trey is angry that the cops are using excessive force on his smaller friend, so Trey threatened to slap the bald-headed police officer. It was clearly meant as an insult or a joke, meaning Trey's hands are cuffed, so he obviously can't act on the threat. However, that will not stop the police from stacking another charge on him for threatening a police officer. That's every dirty cop's main objective, to lure you into behaving in a manner which allows them to stack additional charges on you.
Another thing to remember, it does not help you to insult police officers the way Trey is doing, even if those police officers deserve it. You would much rather get paid $500,000 or $1 million tax-free because a cop was racist to you and not be able to get your insults off, than be able to get your insults off but forego the money. Nobody wants to be nice or polite to the police. No one likes cops. No good, kind person wants to be friends with a cop. Only very stupid or very evil people want to become cops.
Even most wealthy white people dislike police too and feel uncomfortable when cops are around them, not because these wealthy white people are doing crimes, but because they understand a basic truth of our society. They understand that the cops are dumb, low-quality people who carry guns and can arrest you, and no one, not even the wealthiest people, feel comfortable around anyone that stupid with that much power. But given all of that, making personal insults at the police like Trey is doing is never strategic or beneficial when it comes to making them pay you for their racist behavior. At any stage of your court proceedings, it can only hurt you in the eyes of a jury, and the jury is who decides how much money you should be awarded when your rights are violated.
Bro, hey! Don't put him in my car.
It's not one person.
You are under arrest. Stop resisting!
Bro, what am I doing, bro?
Fucking touch him before I slap the shit out your bald head ass.
Alright, let's keep everybody's stuff straight.
That's it. That's them his keys.
All you did was walk, and then after that,
That's mine.
They're obviously locked.
Alright, stay over here. Dude, I was taking pictures. I had nothing to do with it.
He told me to grab his phone.
I didn't see. I was taking a picture.
My man just said, grab my phone. He fucking got his phone. They both grabbed it. They tweaking my nigga phone. Got cameras on these cars, right?
What's it?
Yep.
We got body cameras too.
Right, okay.
Yep.
Who are you yelling at?
So we got squad cams and we got body cams. So we got everything. Everything will be recorded.
Hey!
Don't put him in my car.
Yeah, we're putting him in ours.
Okay. Put him in your car. Put him in your car. Give me your keys, Kenzie.
Buckle me up?
Safety first. We never got his name.
Can you please unbuckle the seatbelt? Unbuckle the seatbelt.
It has to stay buckled, man.
It feels weird.
You want to let dispatch know that he's 1080? Oh.
I'm not even doing it.
Take him.
I haven't did nothing this whole time.
Make sure you have control of that elbow.
Here we go with this shit, bro. I haven't even did it the whole time, bro. I can stand up. Like, what is y'all grabbing me? I didn't do nothing this whole time.
Huh? I know. Walk over here for me, okay?
Oh my God, bro. I swear to God, my soul. I didn't do nothing this whole time. Like, why is we on this right now? Give me your keys, man. Yeah, I feel like I just really did something. Oh, alright. All the time. Now I'm tapping in the drive. Alright. You want to go in my pants? Oh, I felt like the shit. You already had me down on the fucking dirt. I'm surprised you ain't feeling everything in. Excuse me? Why you have me on the ground like that? Why you have me on the ground like that, boss? What I do?
Take a seat.
Under arrest for obstructing the
What did I do?
Take a seat.
I just told you what you did.
But like how am I expressing? I've been sitting there the whole time.
Thanks. We gotta keep everybody's shit straight.
Oh my god.
You gotta log on to your other
Alright, so this is all.
These are the two.
That gentleman's information, if he's willing to give it to you.
These are the two phones that were.
Okay. Alright, so this is all the guy we were doing, right, Frank?
Go get tech.
I want to close out this video with a message. First, to the younger black people who might watch this video. Never, never drive around with weed in your car. Whether you live in a state where weed is legal or not doesn't matter. Smoke weed at the crib, at a private location. Do not smoke in public if weed is illegal, and never have it in your vehicle no matter what state you live in.
The number one tactic cops use to execute an unlawful arrest is first by pulling over a young, vulnerable-looking black person for a made-up traffic stop. Then the cop will claim he smells weed and attempt to search the car. If you refuse to speak and tell the cop you do not consent to a search of your vehicle, then not only will you likely avoid going to jail, you may be able to win a large sum of money by bringing a civil rights lawsuit against the police department.
However, if the cops actually do find weed, you may still be able to get the criminal charges dropped if you remember to say you do not consent to a search, but you no longer have any chance of bringing a civil rights lawsuit and getting paid. In other words, getting unlawfully arrested can get you paid, but not if the cops actually find weed. So there is really no reason to drive around with weed in your car ever. Just smoke at the crib, smoke at home. You don't need the weed on you at all times.
Now for the older black people watching, please share this video with your younger black relatives or your children so that they can see an example of what not to do and how not to act. But more importantly, make sure that all the young members of your family remember the following statements. In fact, make them repeat these statements so many times so that they are at the very top of their brains should they ever be harassed by the police. The two most important statements to teach the young people in your family are: 1. I will not answer any questions without a lawyer present. 2. I do not consent to a search of my person or my vehicle. If every young black person could have these phrases at the ready, anytime a traffic stop turned into a cop fishing for an arrest, then there would be thousands of successful civil rights lawsuits brought each year, and hundreds of millions of dollars could potentially flow into the hands of black families and communities. The power of remembering these phrases is that suing the police has the potential to generate millions of dollars for black people every year, so long as cops continue to harass us, target us, and arrest us for no reason. But if we put ourselves in a position to get paid every time cops do that to ourselves or our loved ones, then the cops will eventually be forced to stop harassing us. Police departments and their cities won't be able to afford it.
Okay. So whose phone is this? That came on. That's one that he threw, right? These are the two that he threw. So I think that was the guy.
It was up here. I think it's his office. This is the first guy's hat. This is the second guy's hat. Second guy's weed.
This is the guy that you guys took down. He brought that over here and set it there. So this is all bartending's. This is his, but I'm putting it in the car because there's no way we're taking that with us.
What it is.
Alright, this is all our guys' stuff. I'll go with this.
Thank you for tuning in to another unlawful arrest prevention video. If you or someone you know is the victim of police misconduct, please visit the National Civil Rights Attorney database on unlawfularrestprevention.org. We have worked hard to vet the best civil rights attorneys in each state and update the list as we continue to do so. Simply click on your state and you will see a list of some of the more competent civil rights attorneys in your state. We hope this helps black people who bring police misconduct lawsuits to be more successful and win larger settlements or payouts. The worst thing you can do for your lawsuit is hire an incompetent lawyer, and most incompetent lawyers prey on black people who have been victimized by taking their money and doing little or no work. We hope that this will be a helpful resource to our viewers and that they will share this list with any black person who may need representation.
Mad at the who, mad at the cops, bitch you stoop. They ain't the odds, you be mad at the gat. If you get shot, hating police, just not the way. Crooked police could get you paid. Racist cops could be your slaves. And free your niggas out of the cage. If you learn the teachings of 4K. CIA tactics left a nigga paranoid. Got a jailbroken Tesla, I turned 25. Birthday gift courtesy of them track boys. Won't even lie, might have been my favorite toy. Kenzie and my burner must have been mid-July. Said jailbreak, schmail break.